When you see this clip, you're obviously used to seeing the conversation somewhat evolve, being a part of the communications team of HRC. Has this conversation shifted with families and with allies?
So, first of all, thank you for hosting all of us. We know each other and we know you, Maya, but we're also really honored that you chose us to be here today to have this discussion. So, with that being said, yes, conversations have had to change. They've changed internally at HRC. They've changed for those of us who happen to be trans or gender expansive who work at HRC. They've also changed greatly in the communities that we serve, not just trans and gender expansive people, but also in communities where people who align with us and ally with us exist and live and thrive and work and offer support. Those conversations have changed from what do we do next to what do we do now? There has been such a quick and well-financed barrage of hate directed towards trans people that for some folks, they can't see what tomorrow's going to look like simply because they have to focus on what's existing right now, what's happening right now. Every single day, there's something coming out. And so our job is the three of us, but then also the many people that we represent and work with and work alongside and work for. Our job is to make sure that people are focusing on now, but also to remind them that we've got to plan for tomorrow as well. Project 2025 was years in the making. And so whatever our project number is going to be, we have to plan that. We have to be in the heavy planning stages of that right now, while we're also helping to make sure that those of us who are in this fight have some type of mental health safety, that we have physical safety, that we have food and water, hydration, rest, and also, most importantly, that we have support and love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the instability of it all, having to plan for the future, but also try to protect oneself in the present is incredibly challenging, something that I think a lot of Americans are not familiar with. Reg, when you try to communicate with people what it is to sort of exist in everywhere all at once. You're under attack, but also trying to move forward. What's a good way to try to explain to people what that is like and how that hurts us all as Americans, not just people in the LGBTQ plus community?
It's such a great question, because when I look at myself in the mirror, and I think about my life, like, I'm just a guy. I'm just, I am a husband, I'm a father, I'm a neighbor, I'm a coworker, I'm a son, I'm a brother, and all of those different identities are all at play all at once, and that I'm just trying to function. And I think that the experience that trans people are feeling right now, certainly we feel like we're under more of a microscope, because we are. And we also know that we are not the only ones who are under a microscope. And so when I say I'm just a guy, a lot of times it's, well, how have you been feeling? Like, how do you feel when you open up your phone? You look at your phone first thing in the morning and you see all of the news scrolling by. That same panic and that same terror, I think, can come up. And to Tori's point earlier in her introduction, she talked about the need for resilience and the need for joy. And so it's really, a lot of times when I'm talking to people, it is a balance of both. I tell people I am full of love and I am full of rage all at the same time, all the time. And that is what gets me through. It is being able to, talk with people in places like Kansas and places like Idaho, and giving them hope, and also helping them through like the very immediate, I just lost my driver's license, what do I do next? Right. I just had this happen, what do I do next? And so sometimes it's just taking it moment to moment.
There is a lot of moment to moment here. And I like what you said about kind of your walls coming down and just speaking about how you actually feel in this moment. I think that's starting to resonate with a lot of people who are can no longer answer the question, "How are you?" with just "I'm great." We're not doing that anymore. Did you find, Luchina, in your conversations with the dads that they started to open up more and more as the situation got scarier and scarier and more intense?
Well, it's interesting. I think because of the relationships between me and the fathers, as a mom of a trans kid, I'm a fellow advocate. I know many of them already. And those new dads who are coming into the fold, they feel instantly comfortable with other men who are experiencing this, walking the same journey as they are. So it never was really a matter of them opening up. In fact, I think they were so grateful to find community and people who understand. And I feel like that's one of the big messages of the film, that we can't go on in isolation. We can't survive in isolation. We really need community, and we have to find each other